Welcome to the Monster Matchup, the show where you get to know your foe from head to toe. Last time I said we were going back to the previous Monster Hunter World areas to fight the remaining natives of each one. And today's topic will be... That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the King of the Skies, the new addition to Super Smash Bros., not you, Rafflestoppin' Rathalos. From the makers of the Fitness Gram Pacer test comes the flying, frustrating male counterpart. This boy has been around for a while, apparently since the very beginning with his green waifu. So let's take a look at what the Red Menace can mount and do.
3, 2, 1... Go!
Big Daddy Rathalos is the next part in what I like to call the Monster Hunter World Struggle Bus Starter Pack, or Muhuspins. At this point, most if not all hunters have had trouble beating one of the monsters in the package, and Rathalos is next in line.
Hey, am I in there too?
No, not quite.
Oh. Hey, wait a minute. You didn't want to make fun of me at all?
Shush! Now the first thing you might encounter when facing Rathalos is, well, finding him so you can face him. The first time I hunted him, it took about 10 minutes to get his attention, and then he ended up flying away by the time I saw him. However, one of the areas he'll most likely be at is the nest area at the tip-top of the map. If he isn't there, he eventually stops by. But Rathian can too, so be careful. Unlike Rathian, though, who primarily attacks from the ground, this weasel with wings will strike from above, with claw, tail, and fire attacks. Rathalos' fighting capabilities include, but are not limited to, Ruffle Stomp, Shoop de Whoop, Sweep the Leg Johnny, and
Fireball.
Now, since he's going to be in the air most of the time, I need you to do me a favor and stuff your pockets with flash bugs. That way, you can craft flash pods on the go. Don't spam them left and right like a fool, but you want to have as many as you can in case you miss. Rathalos will inflict several things, potentially at once. There's Fire Blight, Poison, and even Stun. He can shoot fire in a ball or spread it on the ground, leaving an area where you can get burned. Another thing that's imperative this time around is Antidote. Now, Herbal Medicine is an improved antidote that you can consume faster and even get a little bit of health back, but I recommend bringing both Antidote and Herbal Medicine. Why? Well, if your luck is like mine, you will get poisoned more times than you can count, and it could be as frequent as this. I'm sorry, what? But Gabe, you might be asking. We experienced poison with Rathian, and the prescription was to cut the tail, right? What about Rathalos? Well, even though I still recommend cutting off this guy's tail just to limit his fighting kit, that thing is actually not as bad as Fitness Gram's tail, because his poison actually comes from his claws. Yes, that's right. Unless you can find a way to chop off Rathalos' feet, poison is going to be present the entire fight. Hence, bring both poison remedies. There is one move in particular you really need to be wary of. When Rathalos gets enraged, which allows him to take more damage, deal more damage, and generally attack more ferociously, he'll let out a roar, which can keep you in place, and he'll proceed to nuke whatever is in front of him with a blast of fire, possibly following up with a swoop. I think there's a very small time frame to dodge it, and even to dodge the roar too, but just play it safe and keep your distance when you can. Now, he can be formidable, but not invincible. Let's take a look at Big Red's weaknesses. Now, remember when I drilled the phrase cut the tail into your heads for the Rathian? Well, listen closely because I got something for Rathalos too. Ready? Ready? Are you ready for this? Break the wings. Breaking the wings will make it more difficult for Rathalos to take off again. You ever get your hand caught in a door before? Be that door. Break those hand wings. There's also a wall by the nest area that will cause a flood if you break it. You can either bait Rathalos to run into the wall, or you can use a couple of explosives. If Rathalos is not on the ground, you can flash pot him so he falls into the water and goes down the drain. Generally avoid being directly in front of Rathalos because that's the swooping path, and he will swoop. If you see him charging at you, either dive or roll away from the path. Weak points. Wings. The wings, head, and tail are breakable and act as weak points. Element weaknesses. Once again, fire is not advised. It seems like general rule of thumb is if it breathes fire, then fire won't work. Dragon damage is going to be the most effective, but for you early game hunters, the Palpatine treatment is gonna be Gouda when fighting this monster. Cheese jokes. Comment your cheese jokes down below. Ailment weaknesses. Poison and blast are less than preferable. Sleep, paralysis, and stun are all pretty good options. Insect glaive users may also dethrone this alleged king of the skies. All in all, this poster child of the Monster Hunter franchise is pretty neat. Pretty irritating, but pretty neat. Watch out for those feet, break those wings, and you will win the day against the apex predator of the ancient forest.
Success!
Final verdict,
Whoop-de-scoop-de-poop.
next time, Ferdinand. Hello everybody, thank you once again for watching. If you know anything about Rathalos, please feel free to comment down below and spread your knowledge. Also, I am not smart enough to make the damage indicators that are in Smash with the percentages. Sorry. And once again, I will see you next time.